Love playing Standard on Magic Online? Check out Academy's Standard Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds for Standard Singles.
Alright, we're back with a 2-man for our 4th match. We won the dice roll finally, so we get to play first. And this hand's okay. We have an Ink Moth and some pump spells and a way to protect it. So we're not going to mulligan. We're just going to play Ink Moth turn 1 and then start attacking every turn. And see if we can get there. Our opponent also kept their 7. Just play Ink Moth and say go. Ink Moth's nice. He plays around like a lot of removal spells, sorcery speed stuff, counter spells. Breeding pool from our opponents. Search for tomorrow. So we're playing against the Escape Shift. We're going to play the Forest. We're just going to animate and attack for 1. Next turn we can play Cathedral War and attack for 2. Depending on what he does, we actually might want a Giant Growth next turn. We'll see. Search for Tomorrow was suspended and it went down to a 1 counter. So there's not much they can do against Inkmoth Nexus. I guess if he has red open, we have to play around Bolt. But they usually don't have that. They usually don't have bolts. They just have like Is It Charms, or Flame Slashes, or Anger of the Gods, which is nice for us. And with this draw, we can play around that pretty well. So basic Mountain. So yeah, it looks like it's a bolt. So we're gonna play a Forest and then still try to attack. And if he bolts it or Is It Charms, we're just gonna Giant Growth. I think he has Is It Charm. Well, he can still counter Giant Growth, so it doesn't matter. And he did nothing, so he only went to 2. Unfortunate for us. So he might have like a Telling Time, or he might have been his only land anyways. Alright, so they did have Is It Charm. I think we're gonna use Vines, because it's the only one that like we can't Vines and Giant Growth next turn. So we're not losing any damage, and I'm pretty sure like all his removal spells at this point, like he won't have Ancient Grudge or anything that actually kills it. It will just be damage based. So we could have went for Giant Growth, and he might have Is It Charmed in response, just actually killed it, and then we could have Mutagenic Growthed it, hit him for another 5, put him at 8. Okay, so he's playing Steam Vents untapped. I assume for Cryptic Command. Secure Tribe Elder, okay. So that means he has like Steam Vents. I'm not Steam Vents. He has Is It Charm again. So we're gonna play Cathedral of War, animate it. Attack. And we can't kill us next turn, so I think we have another turn. I'll just wait and just like wait for him to use his mana. Actually, if he goes to the same play where he end the turns Is It Charms, I'm just gonna. I don't want that to happen because we have to waste a pump spell. Alright, so we put him to 7. We have lethal next turn. Opponent sacks his Secure Tribe Elder. The fact that we haven't lost any life yet means that we're safe from Escape Shift for 6. Has to be for 8. He has to get 7 lands, deal 21 damage. Plays Peer Through Depths for a Search for Tomorrow, which isn't too relevant. Oddly enough, he didn't get a Forest with that, so he doesn't have 2 green yet. But I assume he has that in his hand. Because though we don't have the Ink Moth in play, we can't play around Cryptic Command. Because if he taps our team, well, I guess he could just bounce it. We don't have like a Vines or anything in our hand, so we could just always just bounce the Ink Moth. Serum Visions, okay. Puts a card on bottom and bottom, so nothing he's looking for. Steam Vents untapped. Still 2 turns away from Escape Shifting for the win. Search, so he has 2 mana open, 3 mana open. Okay, so actually can kill us next turn, but he can't crypt a command. Drew a Rancor, which is actually really good. So now what we're gonna do is animate Inkmoth, Rancor, and if he goes Is It Charm It, we'll pump it. If he has the actual Lightning Bolt, though, this is really bad for us. But there's nothing we can do about that. Electrolyze, okay. That's pretty good. So we should have this one. I can't think of what our opponent could have. So yeah, I usually don't have actual lightning bolts. Alright, so we got a pretty good game one. Just playing conservatively and then going for it. So against Scape Shift, they could have Spell Skites. I think they probably do. And I don't think I want Apostle Blessing because like all their spells are damage based to answer our things. You could have Artifact Destruction like Ancient Grudge, but then we still have Vines of Asswood. I think I want the guttural responses. I guess I can leave Apostle Blessing in. It's either that or Dismembers, or Nature's Claims even. Actually, I think I might like Nature's Claims better than Dismember, because it could have other targets. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. And also, like, not taking 5 damage may like give us an extra turn where he can't Scape Shift us. So we're taking a gamble, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to have Spell Skites. And this is our hand. It's okay. We have 1 creature and a bunch of pump spells. That's basically what we're looking for. We're not going to mulligan. So turn 1, he's using his Misty. Probably going to play Serum Visions. Nope, just tapped. Okay, whatever. So playing Glistener Elf. Next turn we're going to Groundswell and leave open Vines and Giant Growth. He could have Is It Charm now. She makes... Oh no, it's just a Curative Elder. Ooh, that's a good draw. So we're going to be vulnerable for a turn because he's probably going to block. And we have to pump. Let's see if he sacrifices. He does. So he takes 7. There's a chance that, like, if I don't pump, he still sacrifices. So we're pretty vulnerable to removal spell, though he might not go for it just because he's seen Mutagenic Growth. He could have Anger the Gods, which it doesn't, like, Mutagenic Growth wouldn't save us. Okay, so he has something. This is very aggressive, and we could be punished pretty easily for this. Yeah, Anger, okay. So let's just draw another creature. No creature, alright. So that was a little greedy of me. I guess I could have just not attacked, but then he just has this Curative Elder sitting there. And then it's pretty terrible. Alright, he's already to 5 lands. Another Elder. Alright, no creature. I'm just playing the lands because I'm not worried about another Groundswell. We have enough pump where it doesn't matter if we have a Groundswell or not. We just need to play all our lands that have mana open. Electrolyze us. Okay. So now we're dead if he has Scape Shift in a land, which is more than reasonable he has. So I don't know if we could have waited there. Like, I guess he could have Angered and then we could have Giant Growths. I'm not going to make him do it if he has it. Let's see what he does. Like, there's no point in like seeing if he messes up because like most of the time they're just going to have like a good player will kill us. Nice, yeah. So 1 for Valakut, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we take 18 damage. And there's the creature. A little late. So I guess we want Dismember over Nature's Claim just for that scenario. I still just think the pump spell should be enough. We're going to play first. We're not going to mulligan. This hand's fine. See what our opponent does. Just gonna go turn one Ink Moth and see how we do from there. Might just need to start jamming Ichor Claw mirrors. Because we only have one pumps, like 2 situational pump spells. One we can't cast for the pump spell, and the other one won't have landfall yet. So it might be better just to keep playing creatures. So our opponent mulligan is 6 and kept. So definitely playing Ink Moth first. See what our opponent's doing. So we're just going to play Ink Moth and say go. Yeah, I think we're going to play Ichor Claw Mirror next turn. Depends on what we draw. Like if we draw a Citadel, might just attack for 1, then Citadel, Steam Vent's untapped. Ooh. So he's representing like Bolt or something, maybe Spell Pierce. Okay, we do another creature, so we're just going to start playing creatures. Ichor Claw Mirror. Say go. If there's no reason not to play your Steam Vents and such lands untapped. Elder. Okay, so now we have because we have the mirror, we can attack through it. Guttural Response. I don't think we need to save that. Keep that up. I'm just gonna animate Ink Moth and attack with both, and not play another creature and anger the gods. One poison. So we haven't drawn any more pump spells or lands, which is unfortunate. I think my opponent just F6 through his turn on accident. Yeah. Just turn. Because I passed priority and he's untapped and went through it really quickly. I mean, he could have just missed everything. Ooh, that's a good draw. So we're just going to attack for 1, and actually I think we are going to Groundswell. Because we have Landfall and we don't know when we're going to get it again. And we can either counter like an Electrolyze or Vines it. And then if he has like Anger the Gods, we still have an Ink Moth Nexus. Alright, so he's at 6 poison. Peer Through Depths. Let him have it. I'm not going to counter that one. Is it Charm? If you draw another forest and he doesn't have another land, we can just jam the Vines. She doesn't have a land. Alright, so we did draw the forest. We're going to just play this Vines. Ooh, if he has Dismember, this